evening and good evening. Welcome to the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul podcast, where I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Bolden Hammond. And listen, I have my sisters here, Miss Shawan Burke and Miss Tamara here, who are having an event that you need to be there. Because if you're still broken up and whatever, you need to come through here, some storytelling stuff to get it together. Because you can be healed through storytelling. I know last week my guest was on last week talking about her inner child experience that she's going to be having in June. And one of the concepts that I took from that all this week was your healing doesn't always have to come out in pain. So, well, ladies, how y'all doing?
Hey,
I was lost in the music. I was over here bopping to the intro. I was like, I love it.
I know, right? I know.
I love what you're doing, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying.
Thank you for thinking of, seeing it and thinking of us and inviting us tonight. We appreciate it.
Most definitely. So, ladies, Shawan and Tamara, I'm going to start with Shawan. Just introduce to give the audience a little bit who you are and what you do.
Oh my. Shawan Burke, and Michelle, I am just one of God's girls, right? One of the hardest things for me to do is talk about myself, and I don't understand why. But by day, I am the assistant director of Early Head Start, specifically in the family services component with Maryland Family Network. I'm also a contract trainer for the Maryland State Department of Education. By night, I do a little retail, at the Coach outlet. I'm all over the place. But I am what the folks like to call an encourager. And I feel like that's probably my most important role, right? So all of my interactions, all the things that, my touch points with my folks, I just want people to leave feeling a little bit better. I want them to leave my presence feeling a little bit better. So that's who I am. I'm a mom. I'm a homegirl. I'm here with one of my homegirls tonight. That's who I am. That's who I am.
All righty. So look, the next one who's going to be speaking is Tamara. I don't know if you remember. Maybe you do. That we share the same cousins. But you share from the daddy side, and I share from the mama side, which is Stephen and Terrence.
What?
Charlie?
We just gonna finish talking about how small this area is.
So Charlie is my cousin. Yes.
Girl, all this time I've been living, I did not know that.
Yes.
Isn't it a small world? Well, hey, family.
And your father sung at my wedding 31 years ago.
Oh, Lord Jesus. He love a good song, honey. He will hype to him from the depths of his soul.
Well, yes, welcome everyone. My cousin, Tamara Thomas is here. Tamara, give the people, folks, what you do.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I am Tamara Thomas. I am the CEO and founder of Transpire Wellness. It is a private outpatient mental health practice that's committed to transforming and inspiring individuals to live their best self. And when I tell you that in 2020, I had no idea that 6 years later, this would be where I would be. I am completely in awe of what it looks like when your passion and purpose align. And when you get to wake up and do something every day that you love, and that you have this commitment to helping people to heal and to be better and to find hope, to find their voice. That's what we're all about. And as I was building this practice, I realized we opened during COVID and things got really busy. And so I decided that I needed some help. And so since then, we've established this internship program where I am supervising and mentoring clinicians of color, right? Because we feel like representation matters. Now, I want to be clear, that is not who we serve. We serve everyone, right? But I have made a commitment to bring up profession of people of color because we don't have enough of us in the profession. And so we've got affiliation agreements with like 7 to 8 universities, and it's continuing to grow. It's something that I'm really, really, really proud of. And for the first time, Shawan, I heard that you said that you like people to leave your presence feeling a little bit different. And when I tell you that is like what I say every single day, if you have an encounter with me, I want something to be changed. Because, yeah. And so now I know why we
so now you know why.
Yeah.
Because Shawan has been in stuff that I do when I do these retreats and stuff. I've been doing them for like 16, 17 years where I create these spaces, right?
Yeah.
And that is something that I say too, that I just don't want you to come for the experience or just to say you've been plugged in. I want you to leave differently.
Yeah.
I want you to leave differently. And I'm so glad. I think that's why he connects me with a lot of people that has that same type of mindset. And I always ask for that. Make sure that they're, even when it comes down to speakers and different things like that, I always prayerfully, and he always leads me and guides me on what to do, because it's transformation that you want it to take place. So this is where I'm getting excited about, because you're talking about healing, and that's another one of my mentums that I talk about a lot, even the holistic way of doing some things, healing. And so what inspired you to create this event called Healing Through Storytelling? Because storytelling, we're losing a lot of that. But now I think it's time for us as legacy, especially of people of color. And I'm just not saying it just because it's people of color on the show, but we need to take into heart of the stories that can bring forth healing, because a lot of damages, and I know, Shawan, you see this in your profession as well with families. We always had that saying, what goes on in this house stays in this house.
Come on now.
Those can be the barriers of why people are not healed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So can you tell us a little, either one of you, I can start with Shawan. Tell us why this has came, why now?
So you have to understand that this idea was birthed probably, would you say, Tam, like 2 decades ago? I think
I'm not that old. Don't even be playing with me.
I mean, I personally lost my mother 31. It'll be 31 years ago in August. And, there's this, I guess, stigma in the Black community that like you should grieve and you shouldn't tell people about it. You shouldn't grieve like other people. It should be this one and done. You got to hurry up and get over it type of thing. And that wasn't my experience. So me and Tam started talking about this a while ago. But actually last year, Tam had an event where storytelling was the focus. Right. And I was like, that's it. We got to tell our stories. Like that's it. We gotta tell our stories. And that's how we will get other people talking. Right. That's how we will get other people knowing that it's okay to talk about this. Right. It's okay to talk about the pain that comes with losing someone that you love deeply. Right. And especially in the church, it's like what's the scripture? You don't grieve like no, that was my mother. I'm gonna grieve her. So just getting people talking about it, opening up about it. I have a therapist, but maybe that's not another person's path, right? But getting people talking, I think, is going to be that pathway to the healing that they need.
Right. And absolutely. Tamara, so I'm going to give you the next question. So why do you believe storytelling is such an important part of the healing journey? I know, especially in your profession of what you do as a, licensed therapist and, you on the clinical side. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that? Why do you believe that?
Well, I think this kind of organically happened. Maybe organic isn't the correct word, but when the Lord wakes you up in the middle of the night and starts to give you things, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with all this? And so it was in those moments, and that happened for a couple of weeks, right? And I don't want to over spiritualize it, because I know people are different in different places in their spiritual journey. But when I say the Lord speaks to me in that way, that's what happened. And it was in that moment, as he was downloading these things, he said, Tamara, you have a story. Mm-hmm. And part of your story, right? And I'm going to say stories plural, because there are a lot of things that have happened in my life that have helped me to kind of get to this point where now I know what it feels like to grieve. I know what it feels like to feel rejected, to feel abandoned. And I'm like, what do we do with this? And as a therapist, I don't always get to share my story, because we're taught, right, that there's some clinical boundaries, right? You're not supposed to share your experience with your clients because you don't want to project, or, they're not responsible. But I'm a non-traditional therapist. We're human, right? And so what I understand is that in order to build a therapeutic relationship, people have to know that you know what it feels like, and what life feels like, because life be lifing sometimes. And so it was a pathway for me to understand, one, I had my own story, and that is how my passion and purpose aligned, right? And then this platform that I wanted to give to folks to kind of share their stories, right? And so we invited women from all over to come and participate in this event. And when I tell you that it was life-changing, the amount of transformation that happened in that room, because not only did we just have people share stories, we wanted them to do some work while we had them, right? So we wanted to explore some of the pathways to healing. And so I believe that it is important, because sometimes we live under our stories because we don't say it out loud. When we say it out loud, it becomes reality. And sometimes we're not ready to deal with it. We don't want to deal with all the things that come up, right? And we've been raised that what goes on in this house stays in this house. You don't want to tell your business. You can't trust people. Well, I want to challenge that, right? If you have a safe community, you can share, and people will hold that, and they will support you, and they will champion you, and it'll help you release it.
Yeah. You just said a mouthful here. I just want to tap in. I want to tap in with you, something, tell you our similarities that I can see what you're talking about, but you can talk about beforehand. All three of us has lost our mothers. All three of us have lost our mothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all three of us has lost our mothers. I just was sitting here like, wow.
Right.
Think about that.
And so what's interesting, right, is Shawan 30 some years ago, I just lost my mom. I celebrated 10 years last year in 2025. Oh, wow. Right. And so exactly, that is what I said, because I realized that grief is a process.
Yes, it is.
Grief is a process, and we don't all grieve the same way.
Right.
And we don't, and for me, I had a very complex relationship with my mother. So my grief is different, right? I'm grieving that there's never an opportunity for me to reconcile the things that I needed to reconcile with her while she was physically here.
Right.
So I have a different story, right? But grief is still what connects us.
Right. Right. Yeah. So because it'll be Christmas Eve this year will be 16 years for me from my mom. So So, what we're going to do now, I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about things that we noticed in the community that's a gap. And I think we touched a little bit on that, but we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay?
Walk the path of growth, and abundance will meet you there.
Welcome to the forest. Women walk in like royalty. Confident.
Join us for our Pour Into Your Peace Forest Tea experience. Join in for our Pour Into Your Peace in the secluded, unplugged forest with Dr. Michelle.
Welcome back to the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul podcast, where I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Bolden Hammond. And right there, if you are just tuning in, that is an event that I will be having on June the 6th in a secluded, unplugged forest that's located on the outside of here in Fellisburg, which will be a time out in the nature, some sound baths and some herbal teas, and then pictures. We're gonna do camouflage and fascinators. So that's you can't you know I'll try to bring some creativity, some inner child.
I love that.
So yeah, so that is June the 6th from 11 to 1 o'clock, and the Unplugged Forest, which is a little secluded little place that I actually met someone who has this like forest, and it's right on the Mason-Dixon line, which you wouldn't think that this is happening, but it's right, fellas. It'll be Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. It's like outside on the Bridgeville, Fellisburg side, but you're on the Mason-Dixon line. Yeah. So yeah,
and I'm telling you, if it's a place to be found, okay,
find it.
Michelle is gonna find it. She is
gonna
find it. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So that goes to community, which is the next question that I'm going to ask. So, what gaps do you notice? And I know both of you work in your job with families, you work in yours with multiple families and people. What do you notice in the community that make you feel like this event was needed right for now?
I mean, for me, nobody's talking about grief. Again, and Tam touched on something. Not everybody is dealing with this in the same way, right? But for me, it was absolutely God that pulled me up out of, He had to reach way down to get me after my mom died, and people that I'm close to are just finding out, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even want to live after my mother died, right? But nobody's talking about all of those feelings, all of those emotions, all of those things that you're going through, just trying to get to the other side of that, right? And if they are, they just scratching the surface. They want to tell you about the 6 phases of grief, but nobody wants to really get down and dirty in that. And so for me, I want to be able to talk to somebody besides my therapist about some of the things that I'm going through. And I would find myself, Michelle, at an early Head Start center, right? Like, I'm going in there to do monitoring. And the next thing you know, I'm talking to somebody who is taking care of their dying father, right? Or, their mother just died, right? And they had to come right back to work. And I'm like, Lord, I came in here to look at files. Where are the babies? Because I can't do this today.
I did not come here to do this today. Yeah.
And people don't have an outlet for that, right? And for me, again, I even remember I called Tam one day and I was like, listen, you've been my girlfriend for a long time, but I need somebody that I can charge this Blue Cross Blue Shield to, right? I need a referral. And literally she sent me a name. This was a Sunday evening. I'll never forget it. She sent me a name Sunday evening. I filled out an interest form. I had an appointment the very next day. Right. So there isn't anywhere for us to go. You might find a support group. But even that is more dialed down, right? Like, it's, a cancer support group, or
you don't see them as much. You do not see them as much. You see it's based around like a major like cancer support group or in the stage support group.
Right.
I'm going somewhere else with a whole nother thing. But when you say about this whole death experience, I'm like, I really do believe in, no offense to my funeral home people, no offense, because I know it's business. But I do believe that they should be doing more than what they're doing, just meeting with you.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm being fair about it. Just meeting with you, because trust me, they're getting loads of money. And to say that, oh, I care for you, this is the 3 stages I see. I meet with you, you call me, I meet with you when it's death. I pick up the body, I schedule you maybe 2 days or 3 days. It ain't no next day stuff no more. To see appointment, make the numbers, time for the arrangement of the funeral, then out to the burial ground, you make your marketing spiel, and it's done.
Yeah.
No, or you may invite me to a yearly celebration. I have a problem with that. I'm sorry, but I have a problem with that because some of these folks are saying we have grief counseling on their websites. Where is it?
Yeah. But we're conditioned not to even talk about it.
We're conditioned not to talk about it, but
everybody
it should be a whole nother different process with that as well. And I'm working on something with that one too. I'm working on
the number of times I have heard over the last, I don't know how many years, everybody's got to die.
Yeah.
That should just be the end of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, for me, that is the gap. We don't have safe places that we can go to really talk and share how we are feeling, how we're making it, and how we might not feel like we're making it, So that's what it was for me.
Right. Yeah. And Tamara, that's where I'm gonna go to you with this next question, which you just said, right? Okay. So why is creating a safe space for the vulnerability so important today?
for all the reasons that we just named, right? Like I remember when my mother passed away, just in that order, right? In that order. And the funeral home was very good to us, very kind and gracious. But what I remember most is that after the burial, we went back and we went to the repast, right? And then I went home and everybody else went back to their lives. And then I had to figure out how to live the rest of my life without this person that has meant so much to me. Right. And that's a very vulnerable place to be. Right. And Shawan was right. I didn't have anywhere to where do I put that? Because if you haven't experienced it necessarily, how do I know that I can trust you with how you can guide me through that? Right. So vulnerability is about honoring how you feel.
Yeah.
Even if no one else understands. Right. Even if and maybe they understand, but maybe they don't agree. Right. Because people want to send it. Okay, well, the Bible says, or weeping may endure for the night, but joy come in the morning. What morning am I going to get joy after I lost my mother? Right. Tell me, please. How many days is it going to take? Because I'm looking for it. And guess what? 15 years later, some days I still am looking for it.
Yes.
But nobody is saying how hard it is. The year of firsts, first Mother's Day, my first birthday, holidays. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? That's the important stuff.
Yeah. I remember when I had my first child. Like I was in that hospital room and the people around me had no idea why I was crying. And all I could think about was, what am I going to do with this baby? Like my mom is supposed to be here. What am I supposed to do with this baby? You know what I mean? Nobody, and I didn't feel like I was surrounded by people that loved me.
Yeah.
I did not feel like I could say that to them. I did not. I remember somebody telling me, speaking of the funeral, we come back to the house, Tam, because now we got to bring all the repast food back to the house, the flowers, all the stuff. Yep. And I remember somebody saying to me, "Don't be sad. Your mother wouldn't want you to be sad. She wants you to live." And I said, "Did she tell you that?" And my father looked at me. I'll never forget it. My father looked at me like, "Girl, did she? When did she tell you that?" Because she couldn't talk for the last 4 or 5 days of her life. When did she told you?
So you heard something that I didn't hear?
Yeah, just, and that made me so angry. Like I wasn't even allowed to be sad the day of her funeral. Like y'all don't even want me to. I got to just be strong. No.
And how much of that is cultural, right? Like you gotta keep it moving. Yeah. Right. You just gotta keep it moving.
And especially us girls, right? That's why the emphasis on still being her daughter, right? Like I'm going to be 50 in a couple weeks. I'm still her daughter, right? I'm still her daughter. Yeah. Like,
yeah. It is. So listen, everyone, I am going to put up This right here, healing through the storytelling. Her love remains, your identity endures, a day of honoring and celebrating the legacy of our mothers who have passed on. This will be Sunday, May the 31st, 2026, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Kennard African American Cultural Heritage Center. And you, again, storytelling, healing time. Be there. This is a great event. I want you guys to be there. Support these sisters. Are y'all doing like door prizes or anything?
Shawan and I have curated this amazing agenda, very intentional. It is not a workshop, right? It is an experience. We want people to come. We want people to honor wherever wherever they're at. They're going to have some food. It's going to be a little mix and mingle, but we're going to do some work. We're not just going to get you there just to tell you a bunch of stories. We want you to do some work while you're there.
Yeah.
Some healing work. So, yeah.
All right. So, I'm going to ask this final question to both of you, and I want you guys to answer this before we leave. Finally, if this event could heal one thing in the world, what would you want it to be healed first? Think about it.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
And I read it.
Look, send us the questions.
I read it.
One thing. Let's see.
Oh, that's a good question, Michelle. I think. Go ahead, Tam.
Nope, you go. You got it.
And I don't know if this is the correct answer, but it's my answer. It would restore confidence. If it could do one thing, I think it would restore confidence for their daughters, right?
Yeah, that's interesting, because I was going to say something along the lines of, giving, maybe not restoration, but allowing me to have an identity that is still connected to my mother. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because so much of, definitely more so yours, right? Because it's been almost 30 years, but I'm having to go through these decades of my life where I don't have this person that I would be like, yo, this perimenopause mom, like, why? This is ghetto.
And we talk about keeping stuff to ourselves. Nobody is talking about that.
I mean, listen, but yeah, like, and that, I think that's still her daughter. That's the identity part.
Yeah.
Right. So healing the parts of us that we have lost over time, giving us confidence and a newfound identity as, as women who are moving forward without their mothers.
Yeah. Great. Well, ladies, I want to say thank you guys for coming in, and whatever I can do to help you along with that. Like I said,
you're already doing it. You're sharing. Thank you for giving us the platform.
Most definitely. You're welcome here anytime. You're here welcome,
especially since we're family. I mean,
that is so funny.
Yeah. So again, I want you guys, if you want to hit up tickets, here is where you can buy your ticket to get to this event. It's just not an event. It's a healing experience. I love that. I love that. All about that. I'm all about that. So again, thank you, Shawan, and thank you, Tamara, for joining us tonight. And thank you, audience, for tuning in tonight. And my favorite saying when I leave off from the show, if you feel like you're not loved, know that you are loved here at the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul podcast. Until next week, take care.